which just give it a minute. I like it to pop up on the screen so I know I am definitely live. I don't think I'll ever get the hang of this. Live's just I'm a bit rubbish with them. Should do them more. Do enjoy them. But hello, my name's Rob. This is Cattle Rabbit Scale Model Studios. Sunday, it's the 3rd of March, and I thought I would do a little bit of a hobby hangout. Lately, I've really struggled for time just to do absolutely any hobby whatsoever. So I thought, you know what, I've got a bit of time. The kids are quiet, everyone's happy. So I thought I'm just gonna nick an hour and just do it. I'll go live and take it from there. So, how are you all? I hope you are all well. If you're watching from the future, hi, how are you? How's it been? Do hope you are keeping well. Obviously, I might be a little bit croaky. I have been struck down with a little bit of Nurgle's rot, but Nurgle isn't what we're going to focus on today. It's these guys, the Askurgan Trueblade, Ask Jurgan. Askurgan True Blades. I don't know how you're going to say that. Really, really cool models. It's one of those odd sets where when I first saw these, I thought, yeah, okay, cool. I was very indifferent about big Souls fan. Recently got a hankering to play Bloodborne. Once again, sorry, I do apologise. I've been a little bit of Nurgle at the moment, a bit croaky, a bit snotty. So anyway, playing Bloodborne, and when you just see something and you think, why haven't I made that connection before? And I've actually never played through the old Hunters DLC. Platinum Bloodborne, I played for it quite a few times. I really love it. It's a great game. Josh, good evening to you, sir. How are you? And I thought, you know what, I'll play through it, but I'm going to treat myself to the old Hunters DLC because it's something new, and a bit of a seasoned vet out of all of the Souls games. In actual fact, it's only Dark Souls 3 that I actually haven't platinumed on the PlayStation. So I went back and I got to Ludwig, the Holy Blade, and I was like, why does he look so familiar? And it's because of his Curse Blood guy here. And I was like, okay, he's kind of got that weird horse. All right, Ludwig, if you know Bloodborne, if you know the old Hunters DLC, Ludwig has quite a few more appendages in this guy. But I was like, that face is really kind of like, it just really reminded me of Ludwig from Bloodborne. And I was like, I kept thinking about it. And, I've been playing through it. And I was in my local town the other day. And what I actually did was what I like to call, not quite Gel maths, but what I like to call Warhammer maths. Now, what I did was I popped in for some paint and I only bought paint. So I thought, as a little treat for doing so well, I'd treat myself to a box of miniatures. So I did, and I picked these up. They weren't on the shelf, and I spoke to my friend, the manager, and I was like, the guys. And he was like, the True Blades. I was like, yeah, those. He was like, I got one box left. It even had the little sticker, last chance going soon, whatever it is. Anyway. So I thought, no, I'm having them, I'm buying them. That's what I did. I used the power of what I like to call Warhammer maths to, only buy paint. I only bought paint, so I treated myself to a box of miniatures. I did get a couple more brushes as well. And one thing that I was really, really chuffed about, I got the Dark Angels coin as well, which was pretty good. Good excuse, really. Silly, but I really, really wanted that, and I got it. So super, super chuffed. So there we go. The other colour I bought was Corax White. Nothing exciting. I think it's a nice colour. I think it's a good paint. People tend to rip on Corax White, but I quite like it. So I thought we'd have a look at it, and we'll take it from there. So the Askuru Gigan True Blades for Warcry. Once again, love Warcry. Love the Gorges. Play Gorges. Really, really like these kind of guys. The more I've been looking at them, the more I really, really like them. I think I'm going to do mine a little bit more pale skinned. I want them to be a bit more like almost like vampiric whitish skin. So that's what I'm going to go to. So that's what I'm going to go for. I don't know whether I'll keep the orange. I might do like red and black. I think it'd be quite a cool scheme. Colours of death, vampires, very, very cool. So in this one, you get 8 miniatures. One thing I really, really like about Warcry is like the varying sizes of the warbands. I really like that. The Gorges only have 5, and they're really, really big boys. This is 8, which is good. I think that's quite a nice size for a warband. I think 8, and they're obviously being unique. They very much fall into the category of like the Underworlds. Excuse me, like Shadespire. I'm always going to call them Shadespire miniatures. And I, they're all very unique. It keeps things very fresh, and I really, really like that. You need to get to the club and face my five-space. If you want me to come and beat up your little ginger dwarves, Josh, with my gorges, of course I will. Absolutely, I'd love to. Itzio, hello there. Haven't put them together though. Well, Itzio, well, have I got a treat for you, because we're actually going to open them up and have a look. I did take the wrapper off, and I did just ever so quickly just look at the sprues, so I thought we'd do that. But I haven't kind of done anything with these. Everything's still. At first I was a little bit worried. I was like, oh my god, they haven't given me instructions, and they're actually folded up in here, which is a first for me. I've never seen that before, folded instructions. But anyway, bases, a few varying sizes. I'm actually going to open these up really, really quickly, because I was. I think I just expected them all. Oh, there's a test strip there. Is that test strip? No. To be on like 32s. And the Curse Blood doesn't quite look like that big, but I guess you don't get the sense of scale. So I was a little bit like, okay, cool. So I believe that the Curse Blood is the big one, I would say. Then you've got your 2 free things, and then the Acolytes. 3, hang on a minute, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's right, 8 miniatures. So I would, by the looks of it, I think the Acolytes are on these 3. Those are the dudes with the ropes. Those are for your ascetics. Oh my god, how do you make up these names? And that would be for your Exemplar and your Pariah. And then the Cursed Blood is on the big one. Okay, cool. Easy. Let's, that's how it's going to go. Which was good. It's some variation, so I hope we get some decent size kind of models. Obviously, looking at the sprues, which is the only thing I kind of have done already. You can see that it's got like some really fragile kind of ropey bits here. I always forget the name of this, the hook on the rope. I like the Oriental aesthetic these guys have. I always forget what these things are called. If someone knows in the chat what the rope is, please do let me know. You've got the Falchions, I believe they are. They all go together very similar. There's a nice bit of uniformity to these, but they're different enough to stand out on their own, which I quite like. I do notice things like, an odd arm, an odd foot here, which is a little bit kind of like, but anyway, we'll see. I don't think there's many head options for these. I'm not too sure. And the second sprue, which is obviously the one we kind of want to look at, that's obviously part of the Cursed Blood here. And I do believe the big boss dude, I think, is part of this guy here. So, or it's a guy with the bat. It might be. I know you get a choice of the charnel maces or the glaives, which is cool. Obviously, with the Gorges, it was claws or clubs. That's all there really was as an option. There wasn't anything else, and a couple of head options for I think only 3 of them, which was it's neither here nor there. But nice to see. I would like a little bit more customization. I don't know how well this crosses over with Soulblight Grave Lords in AOS. I haven't really done too much of them aside from some of the miniatures from Cursed City a long while ago. But anyway, so that's the sprues. Once again, some little fiddly bits here. I do wonder if I've dug myself into a hole here with my that thing. Oh, look at that from Texas. Yes, we've gone international. Jason, how are you today? What time is it there? It's 7:15 at night just here. So I do hope you're well. Kimbaku in Japan, Shibiri in the West. Okay, cool. I knew it was something like this. Shibiri rings a bell. I think, dare I say, Neo the very Souls-like game, as we were talking about Bloodborne, another game that I played. I think one of the weapons where you could get the hook on the rope, or it was on a chain, I think. I think that rings a bell. So good on you. Good man, Itsu. House point there. You're going to get a house point. And Central Illinois. Wow, look at that. Do you know, I always kind of look weird because I've even got my little cup of tea. It's so great that so many people join in, and it really does make you feel, you know, very well loved, actually, and very well kind of like, you know, it's nice to kind of have that, like, you know, someone miles away. The internet has always kind of fascinated me. I mean, I'm rolling into my 40s. I didn't get the internet till in my 20s. I think we got it when I moved back home for the first time. And Josh, might I remind you that anything above London is the north. So, you know, let's do that. But it's great. So, so many people do kind of find you, you know, thousands of miles away. And it always kind of like staggers me a little bit, because you're like, wow, like that guy over in Illinois, that guy in Texas, you know, watches your stuff. I think that's amazing, because it's just like little old me going to work and then come back doing some hobbying. So it's great. Watching your videos for a bit now. I really do appreciate it. Obviously, you know, I'm in a very nice position. I post my stuff up on Instagram. You can find me as Cattle Rabbit Scale Model Studios. I don't tend to really talk about myself or much or anything like that. I tend to keep it on models. Same with YouTube. I tend to, you know, try and be quite knowledgeable and about what I'm doing and stuff like that. I'm not a knowledgeable person, but you know, so it's I'm a smaller channel, so it's quite nice because I actually don't have to, you know, constantly do the uploads and things like that, and I can kind of pick and choose when I want. And at first I was like, maybe I'm just being a bit lazy, but in actual fact it's quite nice to have that freedom to be like, this week I'm not going to do a video because I'm doing something else. So, you know, it's 12:46 in the afternoon on Sunday. Doing great. Looking forward to getting my first mini war gaming kit. Mini war gaming kit. Your first mini war gaming kit. Is that like a? You'll have to bear with me here. What is that? Is that? I know mini war gaming. The channel, is that something to do with that, or do you just mean like miniature war gaming kits in general? So, and now look, people are talking in chat to show, and I love that. I love that you can meet by watching someone in a completely different country and then just start talking to someone. The internet blows my mind. Absolutely, will always blow my mind. God, I'm such an old man. So anyway, and it's not. I'm just really not technical minded. So yeah, look, we've got this. It's interesting that the little bag just says Warcry Heart of Gur there. I don't know whether we can kind of see that. Okay, cool. And then we've got our little things here. We'll have a look at these first. One thing I really like doing when I did my gorges, I laid out the little cards and I put all the bits with them, and I was able to sort through it. And I just kind of randomly picked one and painted it up and stuff like that. So Ultramarines. Ultramarines are a cool faction. Don't let anybody ever tell you otherwise. I know they're a bit of a people tend to make Ultramarines a bit of a butt of the joke. I love Ultramarines. My friend James has a massive Ultramarines Legion. I think he's done the one with the green trim. I forget what company it is, but they're basically the ones that stay and defend the planets. And D&D. So D&D. Do you know what? We'll go through these. Stay right there if you're into D&D. I've got a fan, and they are based in. I think they're based in America. Bear with us. I've got. If you're into D&D, I've got something really cool to show you. So look, this is, you know, what we've got here. These are the true blades. These are their reactions and their cards that go with it, and then you get the. You know, all the ones in the. I like that they do this with the ones in the different languages. I think that's quite. You know, it's nice that they actually do. You know, quite a multilingual. I like it. Obviously, myself, I do speak a little bit of Brazilian Portuguese. Comment va CSDH? You know, I do speak, you know, badly. My problem is I speak it with a British accent, and that's never going to do me any favours. And then we've got the fighter cards themselves. So not quite as hefty wound-wise as my beloved Gorges. Still, some nice... There's the Cursed Blood. Ah, look at that. I can't wait. I think I'm going to paint him up first. I really, really want to get my hands on this one. I really like this guy as well. I didn't realise it was a small bat on his shoulder. But I thought that was very, very cool. And then that's the leader, obviously. And then you've got the dude with the Falcon just there. So very, very cool. I'm not going to go through the points. If you want to, I'll just kind of lay them out. We're at the 15-minute mark. If you want to screenshot this, by all means, do it. It's interesting that we've got... There isn't a card for each member. Or is there? Have I just misplaced one? But I've only got 7 cards. Should I have 8? I don't really know. That's the glaive. Unless it just... Oh, I'm not quite sure, actually. He's that guy. He's that guy. He's that guy. He's the blade dude. So I wonder if the acolytes just count as one card. Possibly. I don't know. I don't think there's... I've misplaced one. Obviously, we've seen me get these out for the first time here. So... no, I don't think I have. Okay, cool. So no harm, no foul. Not the end of the world. But would have been nice to get one for each. So... I actually have the... I thought about magnetizing them. Couldn't make a decision. So I'll probably just go with the box. I'll probably do 1 mace, 1 glaive. That seems like the easiest option. There's the Falcon guy, the rope. So yeah, I'll probably just do that if I'm honest with you, but not so worried. Just before, I think I showed these a little while ago. Maybe on the last live I did. So only games, only games. I love it. They did kindly send me these. I am going to actually put these in a 3D printing video, as I mean, Josh, who's in the chat, is 3D printing for me. I've always been very, very happy with the quality of his prints. I've actually got one in front of me. Is that one of Josh's? I can't remember now. Blimey. Might not be. Josh, is that one of yours? If you're in the chat, I can't remember if that's one you've sent me. I've got a box of them just kind of over there, but I've got some sprues on top of it. I'll try and dig out some of the... Oh, I don't know why. I'll tell you what. Hey, we don't need to dig anything out. This is a little house that he 3D printed me. Very cool for D&D. I haven't got around to painting it yet, but, you know, nice and clean. Look, even the interior is... It's got... do you know what? I thought this was one you sent me. Same colour resin as well. I'm sure you did once. But, like, you know, just looking at this, you know, you see the house. It's great. The quality is lovely and sharp. It's detail. You know, as a bit of a paint artist, you sometimes find that you get a little bit spoiled by like Games Workshop and stuff, because they do, you know, say what you want about them, perfectly fine, but the detail on their plastic kits is absolutely phenomenal. So anyway, I sent this out, and they're basically like a subscription box. I think it's like £10 or $10 a month, and these are the February game crates. They do a sci-fi one and they do a fantasy one. This is great. There's got like a commissar in there. They've got like a Death Corps of Creed guy. If you want to see some good pictures of these, go into my community tab on my channel and just scroll back about 2 weeks, and you'll see them on there. But I'm going to show Jason Williams these, because obviously from Texas. Nah, man, you get a bit of my time because you're a few thousand miles away. And they sent me this, and I was really impressed. And I thought, like, if you did D&D and just wanted something a little bit different, the quality of these is absolutely stunning. Oh no, I bent him. Oh no. Okay. Not to worry. I can soak that in hot water. That's actually my fault. That should be lovely and straight. Again, go into the community tab and you'll see some high-res pictures of these. But just look at that mage. Like, can we see that? The detail on these is great. And you get 3 in a box. I got this mage. I got a cool little cat mage. Like normally there's, you know, in D&D, there's always a furry somewhere, isn't there? You want to be a cat mage? Hey, got you covered. Really, really cool. Like the detail. I mean, there's no print lines. There's no cleanup on these. I haven't done anything to these apart from put them back in the wrapper quite badly and then seemingly put something on top of them, which is stupid on my end. And then I got this cool little like lizard warrior guy. And I just thought, you know what? If you just liked, you know, painting odd miniatures, some really lovely detail, I think like for £10, $10 a month. You do have to pay postage. Just adding to it, you could make like such quickly as well. And it's, you know, you've got potential to do some really, really fantastic paint jobs on these. I'm definitely, I know it sounds weird, cat or rabbit. You think, he's going to do the cat mage, and I probably will at some point. Can we just appreciate that in his hat there's a little mouse that lives in it and it's coming out of a little door? Like, how fantastic is that? But this guy here, I mean, the face on him is just really cool. So yeah, definitely going to be doing a bit with these. And obviously they do come with little sculpted bases as well. You've got some floorboards, you've got a cool stone tablet thing, and then you've got like a bit of a cave thing with some stalagmites. Or the ones that grow up. Don't correct me, because I don't care. But you know what I mean. But it's all solid. It's all really, really good prints, and you know, and I think, you know, the way 3D printing's growing, really, really cool. You know, absolutely super. Really impressed. I think so much that I probably should do a video on 3D printing. I'd really like to shout out a lot of these companies that, you know, have the capabilities to do stuff like this. And they come in these cool little crates, which I thought was quite cute. So there we go. D&D. It's in a, you know. So I think they also sell the miniatures as well, if there's one you want to, you know, in particular. So very, very cool. Only Games, not to be confused with the other one, which I'm not going to mention because I don't know if it will get me. YouTube doesn't like that sort of thing. So let's have a look at the instructions here. What we've got, 2 halves. That's who the foot belonged to. One thing I will say, you notice it straight away on the instructions. They've actually sculpted the inside of the legs, although you are not going to see them. Look good as a diorama entrance to a dungeon. Yeah, no, absolutely. I think like even just having, if you want to paint them up as like a, I don't know, a boss wizard or just an NPC or just something to have there, even just like spraying them grey, putting them on a plinth, and a statue of a wizard, like, would be just really, really cool. There's something I quite like about having a game piece. Game pieces, fantastic. And plus I did say the other day, I've got them just behind me. If you want some really easy D&D tiles, buy the Warhammer The Old World movement trays, because you get 25 and 30 mil, and obviously 25s is your 5-foot measurement for D&D, and you get a massive sheet of square tiles, and you could just trim them into corridors and stuff like that. Really, really good idea. I'm going to do something with that. Don't steal my ideas. I wish I wouldn't have said anything now. Anyway, so this is the exemplar. Once again, he is sculpted, which is cool. Then you've got the prior. This is the guy with the bat on his shoulder. Again, very cool. The cursed blood seems to go together in quite a few bits. Now, there was a piece here that did slightly worry me, and that it's, for some reason, you have to glue his nose on, which I was a little bit kind of like, okay, well, I guess we're going down this road. So that's what we do. And then your aesthetics, you can either have 2 with a glaive or 2 with a mace, or you can have, you know, 1 glaive, 1 mace, pick which one you like. Doesn't really matter. They go together exactly the same way, and all you do is you change the head of the weapon, which I thought was, you know, quite cool. JK44, how are you this evening, sir? I do hope you are well. Hope you're hobbying on this very fine Sunday. And sorry for those that are just ever so quickly joining us. We are just looking at the Skirgan True Blades and the Cursed Blood, and why it's basically Ludwig the Holy Blade from Bloodborne. So yeah, cool. Once again, not much to them. These guys don't look like they have much sculpted. They're a bit Ken doll-ish. I say that Ken had a groin, even if it was butt smooth. So, but you're not really going to see these at all, because obviously, if you're looking up miniature skirts, what are you really doing with your life? Still, would have been nice to just had it. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that. And then the acolytes. Oh, okay. So that's why we don't have that many cards, because you can either, so you build them with your bone hilt falchions or throat takers. Now, I got to admit, I do like that guy. I like the way this guy's put. I don't know. I really like the swords, actually. I suppose I should do one with the throat taker, two with the swords would be good. I'll have to look at the cards a little bit more. Let's have a quick look. So that's a sword guy, and that's a rope guy. So what have we got here? So a sword. They only get 2 attacks, but they are strength 5. And they do more damage. But okay, if not, and they're the same points. Oh, I don't know. I think I might need to they hold no secrets under their little dresses. So oh, I don't know, actually. That's wow. See, this is the problem when you give people choice, is I now don't know what to do. I'll probably do one of these and 2 of those. Maybe. We'll see. The only other thing I will say is I do think there's a couple of head options here. Now, is there? Oh, no. Okay, so this is where I've gone wrong. There isn't any head options. Is that instead of building the direct variant underneath it, it's that one is that one, that one is that one, and that one is that one. Okay, so that makes sense. So it is the same head. That's a shame. So no optional bits for these guys. I don't know how well they would integrate into an Age of Sigmar army for Graveblight Soul Lords. I'm not too sure. I would imagine that they fit in quite well. I got to admit, I do like the Grave Lords. However, they don't seem to have enough. Like, there isn't like a unit of vampires. It's either like skeletons, zombies, or dogs. And I just didn't fancy painting those. But I really like the heroes. I think they are very cool. I know she's wondering no weapons options, but I'll second guess the whole time, put together something. And you know what? That's exactly it. It wouldn't be so bad if they had the same weapon profile, because then it just becomes a very aesthetic thing. Do you want him with ropes or, you know, holding a sword? But because the rules change slightly, it's now kind of like thrown me out a little bit. So I think I might need to try and find a little bit of a balance between what I do with the glaive and the mace and make it up with the odd one there. I don't know. I'll need to. I'm not gonna worry too much about the rules in regards to these, as they were just a bit of a painting project. Looking at the glaives and the maces, again, 2 attacks each. They get a bit more strength. They do higher base damage. 3's not bad, and only 4 on a crit. Whereas these get lower strength, but they do more on a crit. Okay. So we'll see. Same points. So to be fair, the maces seem pretty solid, actually. I might just do one of each and then make it up with a rope guy and 2 swords. I think that's what I've decided. That's what we won't worry about it. So there doesn't look like there's too much to these guys. But what I am going to do now, I think we'll put together the Cursed Blood live. I try not to unclip stuff that I'm not going to use. That's how accidents happen. Excuse me, my tea is getting cold. Oh, fantastic. That's the stuff right there. That's the crack cocaine for the British man. Oh, right. So let's have a quick look. Normally what I would do is I would get little bags and I would unclip all the little bits and I put them in the bags with the cards. But because there isn't a card for every fighter, I'm not going to do that. I'll unclip them as I make them and do them one by one, and I'll do it that way. So let's have a look at the Cursed Blood, because he's going to be first. He's going to be first. And if we've got time, I'll do the leader guy, because I think it'd be nice to get a bit of a size comparison. So we're looking for 46 and 48. So 46 being this one here. So we'll just... Lots of contact points on bits of rope and stuff like that. So do just be careful if you are, if you're going to make these as well when you are clipping them. Ideas for schemes. Now, I like the orange and black. As I did say earlier, I think I might go red and black. Red and black tends to be the colours of death, I believe, which I thought was quite unique. I'd like to try and do him Ludwig-esque from Bloodborne. Problem is I've killed him now, so I need a bit more, I guess, reference material on the colours. But I'm thinking, obviously doing Cursed Blood, I think a nice pale white colour would look quite cool. Nice dark fur, like brown, dirty fur, going to almost like a I think it's Doomball brown, I believe it is. Is here somewhere on my rack. But it's like a dirty browny reddish colour, and I think that would look great in the middle, just to add like that little pop of colour. One thing I do really like on these guys, and I don't know whether you have noticed, it might be easier to show you on the box actually, is that the ropes and things and the colours change. So they've got black robes with orange innards, and then they've got orange robes with red innards, and then if you look at the rope, they've got red rope, white rope, and he's got black rope and he's all orange. And then this guy has got the black and the yellow, but he's got like a white rope. Same with the Cursed Blood. He's got like the orange robe and the black robe. I know my colours quite clearly. Just, no one help me. He'll get it in a minute. So yeah, the black robe. Which I like. I like the idea of having the colour come down his shoulders as well. I think there's something quite cool about that. So maybe I'll entertain that idea. But let's just work on this guy for the minute. So just in chat, who's played Bloodborne before? Just give us a quick way, or good hunter. Can we get a good hunter in chat if you played Bloodborne before? I'd like to I'd like to talk about it. So one thing you might have heard me mention before, obviously being a hobby channel on YouTube. I've worked with other hobbyists before. One person I really love. If you don't follow him, go and check out Toby from Zebamunda. One of the most creative guys. Does Necromunda stuff. Puts like LCD screens and scenery. It's amazing. I've done, a few things with him before previously. Really lovely guy, really lovely to work with. And I generally do like his videos as well. He's a very clever man with some fantastic ideas. So I tend to not, aside from like some of my friends, Emma on Darkened Wings, I tend to, I'll watch people's videos and stuff like that because I like to support my friends. But I don't really watch a lot of hobby stuff. Like I don't watch these big hobby channels and stuff like that. I'll tell you why just after I answer this. Okay, so what is the best starter kit or box for someone more interested in the painting and diorama making? more so than the gameplay aspect of Warhammer Minis. Now, I'm glad you asked because I can't stand playing Warhammer. I think Games Workshop make fantastic skirmish games. They make not very fun army games. That's just my personal opinion. I like my models to look pretty on a shelf. I'm not that fussed about playing with them, if you will. I would say no matter what you do, just pick something that you think looks cool. That's all I would ever go with. Just something that you like the looks of, and you go, do you know what? Hey, that's cool. And when you are looking at that thing that's cool, and you've got it in front of you, and you're going to paint it, and I'll get to paints in a minute. Google it, or YouTube it, and I guarantee you there'll be a snippet of lore, or there'll be something that will just, and listen to it while you're doing it, because you're soon going to work out if it's for you or not. Or Google it first and go, actually, I quite like the sounds of that guy, and take it from there. However, I wouldn't worry too much about, the meta or anything like that. I would walk in there and I'd go, do you know what, that big robot looks cool, or that knight looks cool, man, that's a good monster. And I would pick that up, and that's what I would do. Because at the end of the day, if you do D&D, just use it in D&D. Is it something that can be translated into another game system? Which is something that I am going to speak about here with paint. So a good example. This is the Knights of the Realm on foot. I did a video on these guys. Games Workshop kindly sent me a box of them. I did actually paint this guy up. This really cool knightly guy. Now, this is like, if you put him on a table, like there's nothing that goes, oh, you are distinctly Warhammer. It's just a model. And that's my little knight right there. That's my knight. That's my lord. That's my vassal, my, anything. And you can actually build up a story for him. So even if you're not interested in why they don't have horses, or, it's just a great box of characters, of NPCs, of something you can put together. And I would just absolutely, what is cool? What thing yet? See, sometimes I think that the problem I've always had with Warhammer is there's such a large wealth of knowledge. Now, I got into Warhammer and stuff. I've been doing it for 6 years. I actually used to build Gundams. I like Gundams. And I got a bit bored, and I started to, do the things. But I've never really got into the lore of Warhammer. And I think sometimes it can be very overwhelming and know where to start, because you've got all these things and you feel like you should then look up this next thing because it was involved with this first thing. And you just kind of spiral into this little bit of like, what am I doing? Like, I don't know. Is this right? I still get it to this day. I'm a husband. I'm a father of 2. I work a 9-to-5 job. I'm a busy guy. I don't have time to constantly research the next big thing. Very rarely do I look at something and go, I want to know about this and understand it more, as opposed to, I painted this cool thing because it looks pretty cool. And that's exactly like what I've always, gone by. The rule of cool should always be the first thing that you do. Because if you generally like the looks of a model, I always feel that if you're just painting it, you're always going to enjoy it more. Now, when it comes to paints, I don't think there is any right answer to this, because paint is subjective. And I've said this before, once again, I got a lot of stick for Army Painter, speed paints. I really, really liked them. And because I didn't get an issue with them, and I still haven't had an issue with them, and I use them a lot. I use a lot of Army Painter stuff, along with Citadel, along with Pro Acryl. I've got some Hataka stuff up here that I really use. Dark Star, they do some fantastic bits. I would, if I could do one thing differently when I first entered this hobby, is to not pigeonhole myself into one particular paint brand, because paint is really subjective. Once again, every paint in the world is the best paint in the world, and every paint in the world is also the worst paint in the world, because if you're happy using it, then it works for you, then it's right, and there is no wrong answer to that. And I think with a lot of people, they become almost like very fiercely defendant of their favorite paints, almost like their favorite army or their favorite football team, or for you, Jason, it would be soccer, which is wrong. It's football. You're just doing it wrong anyway. So it's football, and you know, it is. It's almost like that fierce kind of like supportiveness. You know, and if you say anything bad about their paints, they, you know, they get on. But if I could go back and I could do one thing, is I wouldn't pigeonhole myself into one particular paint brand. I use Citadel mainly because my local Games Workshop is 15 minutes away, which I'm really, really lucky to have. There are no other hobby shops kind of near me or anything like that that sells paint. I would have to order online, which means I have to wait and stuff like that. If a paint dries out on me or runs out, I can pop out 15 minutes, I'll have to paint. Half hour later, I'm back home. You know, it's not, but that's why it was more of a convenience thing. Since I've been doing YouTube and people do say to me, would you like to try our paints? Would you like to try our sprays? Would you like to, you know, I found that there are so many good brands out there, and everyone works slightly different and everyone acts differently. And I think sometimes there's no such thing as a bad paint. It's just a situation where that paint can be used. Also, again, there's no such thing as a good paint, because using the wrong paint at the wrong time is going to make it a bad product. So that's, you know, what I would say. Rule of cool. And you know what? Pick up a couple of paints. What I do now is I tend to just pick up like one or two of something. And I've got all these lovely little brands and stuff like that that I use now that just really work for me. And I have my go-to schemes and stuff like that. And that is something that I would really, if I could go back 6 years and say to myself, Rob, do yourself a favour, try these out, and not be like so heavily reliant on one paint brand. I would definitely do that. So I do hope that helps. Sorry, that was a lot. That was, you know, but it's something that I do find is quite important, and I think it gives you a good start. If not, and you're still unsure, I would always say, and this is why I think I've always done, or I've always enjoyed being on social media, is the conversations you can have with people. I don't think there's one person in this hobby, and if there is, they're awful. But if someone messaged me and went, hi mate, what primer did you use there? Like, I don't see any sense in not telling someone. Or just going, hi, bit new here, bear with us. What primer did you use? Or how did you do that? You know, I think that's definitely the way to go. And that's one of the reasons why I do kind of like the social media aspect and stuff like that. But I'm not seeing many people write in chat about how much they love Bloodborne. You must not love Bloodborne. In which case, I'm very disappointed in you. I'm disappointed. I'm not angry. I'm disappointed. Apple barrel. Right, so Fab Allen swooped in there with that one. Why don't you like Corax White? What have you got against my beloved Corax White? I strongly say Fab. Oh, Fab. Sorry, do you know what my Fab? It's Fab Alien. I'm so sorry. My eyes are awful. I generally do. I wear glasses. That's my excuse. And I'm kind of looking at my monitor just off to the right here. It's Fab Allen now. You're stuck with it. I'm so sorry, bro. Why don't you like Citadel Whites? Because I personally, between this one right here, Corax White, and Pro Acryl Bold Titanium White, these are the two best whites in my opinion that I'm going to say this that work for me. I'm going to say it really, really loosely. Is that I like good white paint. Savage. I love it. I love Corex White. Do you know what? Corex White spray. Yeah, I've the only time I ever had frosting on a spray is Corex White. But as a paint, I think Corex White base paint is fantastic. You got to treat it like a yellow. Got to treat it like a yellow's white. It's got a lot of pigment in, and it can go iffy really quickly if you don't err on the side of caution. Bold titanium white. This is a fantastic bright white. White Scar. I do use a little bit of White Scar as well, and you can even see that. I hope you can see that. My camera's picking it up. See, I hope you can get that. It's so bright. This is like pure white. This is liquid gold. This one, so good. But do you know what? No, I've never really had a problem with the Citadel white paints. I use Corex White a lot, actually. A lot on my Dark Angels. It does all my iconography and stuff like that, like my symbols and stuff like that. And I do. I'm a big fan of Corex White. I think it's a good paint. I'm gonna stand by that one. Listen, Fab Alan, come into my chat calling my paints rubbish. No, absolutely. Do you know what? Once again, this is a great example. If a paint doesn't work for you, just try something else. And eventually you'll kind of snowball into a little bit of a range where, you know what, you are going to hit the nail on the head and find something with it. So, yeah, absolutely. Captain Noodle, I miss Bloodborne. Good. Because look, we've got this cursed blood. It's basically Ludwig, the Holy Blade. And I'm very much here for it. So stop all that waffling. Let's just move these out of the way. I'm going to get nothing done because I'm just talking all the time, which is good. I do. Just let us know as well in the chat if you are doing a little bit of hobbying as well. Like, am I filling your Sunday with sound? Is what I want to know. So let's just have a quick look at this guy. We're gonna get this leg on. Now that kind of just pops on there. Okay, so that's not really going to obstruct anything. So I think we can just pop that one on. Yeah, do you know what? I say this. I do think, From Software games, I like a game that will challenge, and I think the one thing I like about them is that although they are challenging, yes, they're fair, and you never feel like you've been that cheated out of like a death. Don't get me wrong. There's a few. Let's not talk about Melania's super armor or Maria's super armor that they get sometimes. Recently, I did play through Elden Ring again. I'm pals with Taylor Miniatures and her partner Pete. Lovely people. And she had never played through Elden Ring, so any opportunity to jump on and play Elden Ring. Selling a wood project for my niece. Oh wow, doing a bit of woodwork. I like it. What are you building? Is it something extravagant? A Wendy house? Climbing frame? Small box? I'm going to put together some Risen Dark Angel. Oh, good man. Have you picked up Fab? I'm just going to call you Fab. No, you're going to be Fab Alan, actually. I'm still not forgiving you for slagging off Corex White. Did you pick up any of the new Dark Angels kits? I think the next ones I'm going to treat myself to probably Asmodite and then the Companions, I think. And then I feel like I definitely want like a tank. I want a big heavy tank. Something like a Gladiator Lancer, an Executioner maybe. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But I'm definitely going to add a tank. I want to do a kit bash tank video because the Ravenwing stuff, and you can get so many cool 3D printed stuff for Dark Angels. I really want to do one. I might have got a few too many companions getting turned into prison agents. See, that's the only thing, but also it does lead into something else. You've got the companions, great. And the is it the companion? Am I saying companions? Who are the new dudes in the purple robes? My God, my brain's just gone and I farted. Oh my God. I didn't actually fart. I brain farted. You would have heard it because I would have laughed. Is it Companions? No, Companions are the Forge World ones, aren't they? Oh my god! Hang on, wait. Inner Circle Companions. That's the one. Don't worry. I'm having a senior moment or something. Is that the cool thing about them is, yes, I would have loved more Dark Angel stuff, but it leaves it open to getting HQs and things like that and expanding on these ranges, which I really, really like. Because the perfect thing, and now we're going to talk about why I love Dark Angels so much, is because I know, like I said, I'm not gonna lie here. I'm not a big lore guy. I don't know that much about them. But the best thing about Dark Angel, because they're so secretive, you don't have to, because it's a secret. You're not supposed to know, and you can just make stuff up, and no one can actually disprove you, because they don't even know if it's true or not. Because the Dark Angels are so secretive, you know, you could make it up that they're not allowed to poo on a Sunday. You can't disprove that because it's secret. Because they're Dark Angels. Love it, absolutely love it. Yes, the Forge World ones. Yes, absolutely. Praise thanks. You've seen symbol of the Dark Angels. Prime Zelbers. They are not very secret. Hang on a minute. Let me just grab my my codex. Let me just glue this piece on. This is gone. I've glued 2 bits together and yacked on for 51 minutes. I was like, yeah, I'll just grab some time. No one, don't worry. Everyone seems happy, so we're good. So let's just have a quick look. Hey, look at that. Cool. Upskirting. Now you're not allowed to do that. You can't say that. However, I don't think that's going to obstruct anything, so that's cool. So we can actually just glue that bit on as well, which is cool. And then we can do the top bit. And this little bit here just needs a little bit of glue. Just getting back to, sorry to completely go all the way back. Jason, if you wanted to get into scenery and dioramas as well, and like maybe, I don't know, D&D stuff, I believe, and if I just pop up ever so quickly, because I've got it just down here. If you go onto the Army Painters website, they do the Game Master terrain kits, and you get a ton of stuff in there. You get primers, you get paints, you get tufts, you'll get like so it comes with primers, a big bottle of like desert based stuff, tufts, paints, you get some small rocks, some scenery sand, razor wire. It also comes with a little book as well, which is really, really cool. So you can't see that there. It's filled with little tips and stuff like that. It's a really, really good set. It's made by the Army Painter. It's their Game Master stuff. Really, really cool. If I just slide it out, we'll just put that over there for a sec. And I'll just show you ever so quickly what you get. So you get like all the cool books. It shows you how to use it. One thing I really like that they always give you instructions for everything. What you get, if you ever need to, like reorder it, or like what highlights you want to do, it's there. You get this really, really cool book. Just shows you, like, it's got loads of ideas and stuff like that. They do a few of these ranges. I believe they do a desert one. They do a forest one. They do quite a few, I believe, but it's really cool. And again, it just comes with absolutely everything. So I actually haven't done too much with these. I probably should. once again, nice to have the paints. Nice wash, bit of rust there. Very cool. I'm not sure on the price wise for these, but do check them out. If you know, to me this seems like a really, really good value kit. If you are getting into train making, I don't think there's probably worse places you can start. But once again, I always forget I've got this, and I shouldn't. It's been a hot minute since I've made any terrain as well. I really should, should kind of make something. Wide, each leg has special flowers. Ladies in the family with a name. Ah, that's cool. It's interesting. I'm not a carpenter, but I used to be a trained locksmith by trade. I was sitting guilds. Was my very first job that I did. I was actually in the building trade for 19 years. I actually went over to the hire industry, tool hire and stuff like that, and eventually kind of fell into the job I am, which is really odd. I'm an aircraft parts QA, and I'm petrified of flying. I went to Benidorm for one of my best friend's stag do's last year. I started drinking at 4 o'clock in the morning. Our flight was at 6, and I kid you not, I got off the plane in Benidorm, and I generally thought, I'll miss the kids, because I now live here. I did not want to get in. It was horrendous flying. The less I have to do of it, the better. It's just really, really ironic that I QA parts. Would I get on a plane I've QA'd parts for? I don't know. I'm only joking. I'm very thorough sometimes. But yeah, it petrifies the absolute life out of me, flying. So no, sometimes I do think, do you know what? I really, really miss, doing the locks and stuff like that, and just being in the building industry. But alas, it's weird, these little things. And then here I am on YouTube doing making models that I think look like models because I played a game of it. God. So there we go. I have been all over the books and the indicated videos of my career video. I've been all over the Army Painter website. Yeah, do you know what they do some good stuff? I'm not a big D&D player. I only ever had one character, which was Albert Cuttlefish, quick with a sword and even quicker with the ladies. And I struggled with D&D. Maybe I didn't play with the right people. My friend did come over one day, and me and my wife sat down, and he did like a murder mystery on a boat. It wasn't so much D&D, but it was like he gave us the choices. Like he already had a story and a plot outlined, and it was hysterical. It was really, really funny actually. We had a good couple of beers, and we just sat around the kitchen table, and we were just chatting away, and it was so funny. Like asking these questions, and yeah, it was great. I do wish D&D was something I maybe had more time for. Again, much like Warhammer, I find it sometimes a bit difficult to know where to start. Oh God, what am I supposed to do with this bit? I have unclipped the right. Okay, right. So that bit goes like, wow, hang on a minute. So there's the hand. Is that right? Does that go? Is it like this? Like there? Wow. Okay, so we encountered our first hurdle, my fat fingers. Is that I've got to glue this. It's like a chest plate. It's the chest of the Curse Blood on, and I can't quite work out where that wants me to put that. Now, normally what I find in situations like this, if you tilt the model like that, like it shows you. So apparently it's telling me that this should kind of, I don't even think that's the right way, but it says it is. like that. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. So I just wasn't rotating it enough. So it kind of, so wow, yeah, his skin is really twisted on this. So he kind of goes like there, and you line it up. However, you can see that so well. I wish that was like a part that went on last. It feels like something that should be put into place. Yeah, so this is like one of the reasons why I've with Warhammer. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the idea of playing Warhammer. I love the idea of it, but I think in execution, I just as an individual, like I'm going to speak just for me here. I personally don't think I have the attention span for it, which might sound a bit odd and a bit weird, but I honestly believe I just don't. I'm not built that way. I've tried to play Warhammer countless times with friends, and I always find by maybe like the second or third, I am wanting the game to end. I'm just done with it. Okay, so then that goes round on that side, and that pops in there like that. Okay, so yeah, he's basically just really contorted and twisted round, which is, I mean, it's cool. It looks great. What I are going to have to do is make sure that there's no contact points there. So, okay, see that's that there. See, there's a contact point that I've missed just right on the end there, and it's pushing the thing. So I'm actually going to just trim a bit more off than I need to. There, like that. Okay, so I'm pretty confident that will now sit in. So we're just gonna, we'll stick a bit of glue there like that. And then just on here. But getting back to it, and fun. Do you know what? That's exactly it. And I much prefer the skirmish games. I find that I have a lot more fun with them. Kill Team, I think, is great. Warcry is great. I used to like Underworlds when it was Shadespire. I haven't really played anything since then, so I can't really speak for anything else. But I think they make better skirmish games. I said this right at the beginning of the live. To me, Games Workshop make better skirmish games than they do army games. They move a bit. Maybe it's the type of game that suits me and my attention span. As I've literally just said, I don't have the attention span for it. I find that it's quicker, it's better, it's a bit more, just keeps things going. I like that. That's definitely it for me. So just quickly as well, I've noticed that his part of his foot is actually on a little rock. So let's just pop this on as well. Hopefully he should be able to stand up then. But if you are, like I said, I would pick a game. I like, Warcry, I think is great, is a great game. And you know what, if you just wanted some overlap, it's definitely a great one, because literally, like what I'm building now, if you wanted like a gang of vampires, these would be great models to represent that in things like D&D. Much like paints, just pick and choose your miniatures, and just I think that's the beauty of miniature hobbying in general, is just taking what you've got and turning it into something that it looks like something else. And I think that it's an art form in itself, if you will, because it is very much like and I like that. I really like that. That's nice. Not sure I would like playing else. Yeah. See. The thing is, I like about Kill Team, and I can prove to you that Kill Team is a good game, because I learnt the rules competently in about 30 minutes by playing a game, and I am awful with rules. Like, I am so bad. I really struggle with rules. I'm not a rules guy. And it's definitely a testament to the rules of Kill Team and how it's played, that it can educate someone like me fairly quickly, is what I'm going to say there. It's let me just make sure I'm not cutting in. It's because every time I cut, I tend to try and concentrate by poking my tongue out, which is something that is quite ridiculed in my household from my kids. That I'm sitting here poking my tongue out because I can't concentrate by not poking my tongue out. And talking at the same time is really weird. So, excuse me. Yeah. Okay, so that's how... Okay, at first I was like, oh, God, I'm not going to be able to get to that miniature. But in actual fact, I can actually get to quite a lot of it, as you can see. It's kind of twisted round here, but we can actually get to it that way, which is fine. So I was a little bit worried I wouldn't be able to glue that arm on, and maybe this guy would be a bit more difficult to paint than I had anticipated. But I don't think that's the case, actually. I think this guy's going to be quite easy to paint up. There doesn't seem to be many spots that is going to be obstructed. Obviously, normally I work in sub-assemblies. I like doing things that way. But again, I don't think this is the case. I like almost like the if you've played Curse City, the Vargelf, it's kind of got like these weird skin flaps here. The new Vargelf Courtier, Valskull, the big dude, the big white dude. He's kind of got like these flaps that stretch over. It's almost like it acts as a cape. I really like that. It's a cool little design. I guess you could say flourish there. Very cool. So we're nearly done with this guy. We need a hand. Hey, which is this one just here, and then we're going to glue half of his face together. Oh God, I wish they wouldn't do stuff like that. So yeah, no, that's exactly getting back to it. Finding a game system. I think sometimes I've always felt a little bit odd or a little bit out of place in the Warhammer community, and I think this is why sometimes I've always tend to keep myself to myself. Like even on Instagram, I post what I've been doing, and I don't really comment on it or make a note of it too much. I just put it out there and off I go, because chances are I've already started something else or I'm doing something else. So I've always been very good at kind of just, in a sense, just moving along and doing my own thing. And because I don't play, or I don't I guess I say obsess over rules, but I don't hold the rules to a very high regard. Let me just make sure that is right. So I think his hand needs to be a bit more this way. So let's just, while the glue is there. Yeah, that looks about right. There we go. One thing I will say is that little hand there has like a little pin, and it kind of feels like you can twist it around a bit. So the edge of his wrist runs parallel with almost like the muscle, so you can actually line it up that way to get him to do it. I don't think it really matters too much, but that's just something to look forward to. Look out to. It was dumbed down for the demo. They often are if you go to Games Workshop or LFGs or FLGs or local gaming stores or things like that. They tend to play a strip down to get you in and out, and quite quickly. One thing I found with Kill Team is it was never that hard to look something up. Like, I've never had an issue where you go, well, in this situation, what do we do? Because I'm shipping cover, or I'm an inch away from that, but can't because I'm an inch away from that. And you get all these complicated rules. I've never had that in Kill Team. But I have gone, oh, wait, what does that mean? What does lethal mean? Or what does this mean? Or, and you just have to learn what your, like I play Orc Commandos in Kill Team. And their weapons have little traits. So one will have the savage trait, and you kind of, you know what I mean though, not Vargolf, Varskir or something. Do you know what he's on the shelf? Hang on a minute, you guys are really making me work this evening. For a nice, quiet, chilled out bloody stream, you just make me get up and down. Right. He might be a little bit dusty. That guy, same thing. He's got the little flaps on him there. So this is the dude I painted up for Curse It. Oh my god, that's awful. Wow, look at that. He's literally just been sitting on the shelf for absolutely ages. I feel bad. I'm gonna dust him. Wow. Let's just dust him quickly. I remember painting this guy. Oh blimey, good couple of years ago now. When Curse City came out, and I just didn't get round to it. I've actually got some of the box still sitting next to me. Do you know what we should do one day? Did you play Curse City? Like, let me know in the comments, because in Curse City there is an envelope that you're not supposed to open until you've done like the very last mission. Well, I've actually got mine and I haven't opened it. Do you know what we should do one day? We should all get together and we should open it up. By get together, I mean I'll do a live. Everyone can join in. Okay, there we go. It wasn't dusty at all. See, I don't live. Oh my god, that's awful. But there he is. The Varskol or something, you know. But he's cool, isn't he? You got a little fun size one there. He's like a little baby one. Oh, I like it. That's cute. He's a little cutie. Don't talk to me or my son ever again. I like it. So yes, we should do that. We should do it. But that'd be cool. I'm definitely, like I said, I'm definitely going to be doing more lives this year to make a conscious effort. I am going to try and get over to, is it Sundayy, the gaming show, in, I believe it's April the 12th. So anyone in the UK, I'm going to try and be there, which should be cool. Definitely need to get out and about a bit more, I do find. And I definitely, I just want to do more gaming orientated stuff. As I've often said, like I said, and I was talking about this earlier, I don't watch a lot of hobby YouTube stuff, aside from people that I know and are my friends. The Vargov devastated in game. Yeah, Vargov. Is it Vargov or Varskir? Do you know what? I'm not getting up to get the box to find out what it's called. You lot can forget it. Someone's going to have to Google it for me. Can someone Google what this is from Curse City, and just like let me know what it's called? Because it's not Vargov. That's not Vargov. Vargov Courtier is the one from Flesh Eater Courts. I'm sure he's called Vaskir or something. Vaskir, I don't know. If anyone wants to do us a solid one and Google that, much appreciated. And how this came about was I don't know whether you know a guy, his name's Elvis the Alien. He does a lot of Nicolas Cage movie reviews and stuff like that. But he loves Bloodborne, and I hadn't watched any of his videos in about 3-4 months. I'd been a bit laxed, and I'd noticed a little while ago he did a no death run of all the bosses on Bloodborne, and I watched it, and he kind of goes through and explains the lore. I'm not going to go and do it because it's too in depth. If you don't, just go and play Bloodborne. It's amazing. And do you know when you're like, oh man, I love that game, and so I was like, I really want to play Bloodborne again. And I'd just done a playthrough of Elden Ring, like I said, with Taylor's Miniatures. And, it was great. And, I mean, I tend to... I mean, I have a PlayStation 5. I was lucky enough to get one day one. I've had my PlayStation 5 for a while now. I tend to not really use it, aside from playing Dark Souls. Every kind of, like, couple of months where I go, oh, man, I'm just going to play Dark Souls again. So I kind of was like, and I saw this video and I was like, hey, that's wicked. I'm gonna play Bloodborne again. I want to play Bloodborne. So oh man, look at that. That's awful. Why would you just glue half a face on? That is just one of these. So that's his face, and there's his nose and his tongue. So you actually have to kind of just glue his face. Oh wow, this is like a fat-fingered person's nightmare. I'm dreading this. so just yeah, and you just saw it and you think, man, I love that game, and I was just like, I'm going to play it. And like I said, and I'd never done the Old Hunter DLC, and I treated myself to it. I was like, oh, do you know what? I can get it for £7 off the PlayStation Store. I'm going to do that, and I did. And I basically did all of it. I killed Margot's wet nurse, and I just I was like, I'm not going to start the DLC until I've done all of the bosses up to the last boss, Gehrman, and the Moon Presence, because yeah, I got all the umbilical cords, so I'm like that. I'm just good at it, and yeah, so I started playing it, and I did. I got to Ludwig, and I was like, hang on a minute, I'm sure that's a Warhammer miniature, and I was like, hang on a minute, I think I know which one it is, and that's why I just really wanted to play it. So I'm actually I think I'm right before the Lady Maria boss fight. I have that to do. I've never fought the Orphan of Kos. I'm very much looking forward to it. I think there's something very rewarding about the Soulsborne games, and overcoming a boss is something quite beautiful about it, really. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Obviously, he's very renowned for being quite difficult. So I'm gonna very much enjoy it. And on that note, look at that. There it is. That is our Curse Blood. Curse Blood. Hey. Only joking. It's Ludwig, the Holy Blade from Bloodborne. Very cool, actually. You're not really going to see anything. I might give him some nice leopard print underwear. I tend to have a habit of doing this. I painted up Trug recently. Trug, the Trogoth King. He got leopard print underwear. Varskir, thank you. Itsu, good man. Absolutely. I knew it was the Varskir. Varskir. Yeah, something like that. It's great. I wish there was more of these. I wish there was a multi-part one. I think it's great. I think it's such a cool miniature. Like, that is horrific. I love it. I think it's such a cool model. Varskir, yes. Good man. You get a house point. I'm going to start writing these down, who gets house points. And next time you're in a chat, I'm gonna send you hearts. But there we go. Yeah, so Trug got leopard print pants. I did a Sons of Behemoth, Mega Gargant. He got leopard print pants. Maybe I think little white ones with hearts on for this guy. I think that'd be quite cute. Oh, cutie. And then he's on the big boy base. So there he is. So I think I am only going to do him today. I don't want to... I think that's all there is of him. Yeah. Okay, we're there. And he is on... Yeah, he's on a 40mm base. I will just show you my gorgeous. Because they are... I'll probably do the bases in a very similar fashion, but you can just see like how the difference in size wise of these guys, and he's the biggest of this warband, so you can quite clearly see that that there's a big old difference there. These are big chunky old boys. However, very, very cool. I really like these. It'd be interesting to see how big and brutish go up against quick and agile. I think it'd be quite a fun game. So there we go. So yes, gorgeous, love them. And Varskirs, love them. And yes, there we go. So I think what I will do is it's been 80 minutes. Jesus Christ. It's like being at a dinner party and then realizing you're the only one on cocaine. Just non-stop talking. It's but it's a credit to the chat today because it's been filled with chatting and laughter, and I must say that's not to sound really corny and cheesy, it's absolutely fantastic. It's it's been absolutely great. I am going to leave it there today. I need to go and walk with my little sausage dog. Oh, I find that so funny. I have to go and walk my wiener, my weenie, Watson. I have to stop calling him Brain Cell because he's starting to answer to that. So Watson, ironically after Dr. Watson, like Sherlock and Watson, which is ironic because he's not very clever. So he's going to go and get his last walk. There will be, sorry, so sorry. Well, it's so funny. What's my sausage? There is going to be a YouTube video this week. I don't know what I'm doing just yet. I'll do it. I am running a little 10K mini marathon this Saturday, so I don't know whether I'll be putting out a video this Saturday or early or after. I'm not too sure, but there will be something coming soon. But look, thanks to everyone that did just pop into the chat and just said hi. I was chatting. It's been a pleasure. Amazing. The folks over in the US, thank you so much for Illinois and Texas, just for, yeah, absolutely fantastic. It's been a real pleasure. Fab Allen, if you're still there, for absolutely ruining my Corex White. But yeah, so thanks everyone, just coming in. It's been, I kind of just did this off the cuff. Like I was, so should I do a video, an unboxing video of these? It's easy to go, it's all content and someone might want to know about them later on. So I tend to try and put stuff there. But I thought, you know what? No, I want to do this for me. I always try and say this in my videos. Before I'm anything, I'm just a hobbyist. That's it. I'm a hobbyist just like everyone else. I get excited about miniatures. I have critiques on miniatures and stuff like that. So I do try and represent myself in a bit of a, I guess, impartial way online, because I believe it's a good attitude to have. But yes, that's it. That's it from me in this one. If you're watching from the future and you made it through all 80 minutes, absolute God bless you. I'm not religious. My wife has always said, why do you always say God bless and take care? I said, I don't know. And she's like, but you're not religious. And I said, well, I know that. I just say, and it's just something we say in the UK, I guess, from where I'm from. We always say, God bless, see you later. And there we go. So I can hear my youngest child singing. I think that's my cue to go and walk the dog. Just joking. Voice of an angel. Voice of an angel. When I'm not in the house or anywhere near it. Stop calling the kids it, Rob. They are your kids. It's not it. It's a person. Anyway. So, yes. Thanks to everyone that stopped in. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of the weekend. A little bit jealous of the guys out in the US, actually. They get more of a weekend left. It's coming up to 8 o'clock here, which means I'm literally going to bed in about 45 minutes. I'm literally an old man. But thanks again to everyone. I will see you all soon. God bless and take care. Goodbye. Bye-bye.